guest joining me now is Suicide Prevention Australia CEO Nieves Murray. Nieves, thanks so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Half. So this would be not just low-income earners. This seems like it's right across the board.
That's right. The survey indicates that the cost of living crisis is hitting Australians across all spectrums of the socio-economic spectrum right now. The data indicates that we're not out of the woods yet, despite softening interest rates and softening inflation rates. And I think that the data shows that we really are facing some very difficult times for Australians. And interestingly, it's families that are being hit hardest. That middle wage cohort seems to be the one that's experiencing distress most in the community at the moment.
Yeah, so are they traditionally mortgage payers, mortgage holders?
Predominantly, so it's people, in that kind of mortgage belt that are experiencing it, but it's across the board, certainly people who are in rental accommodation and so forth. So it's certainly across the board. One of the very interesting things about this data is that for the first time, cost of living and personal debt distress is more than double any other key economic or social driver of suicide risk, such as social isolation or housing insecurity or relationship breakdown. So it's the first time we've seen that this particular measure is double any other measure in relation to suicide distress.
It's just depressing and tragic to hear, to be honest, given what a rich country we are, but the cost of living crisis, cannot be talked about enough. When you say financial distress, are we talking about people who have, they're working, they've tried to get a second job, they've hammered through their savings over the last couple of years, and now there's just simply no options left?
Certainly that's one scenario, but there's many other scenarios. I think every person's a universe in a sense, and every scenario is very different. What we do know, though, is that in order to protect our community from suicide risk, we need a whole of government approach. So we need not just to look at the issue of suicide prevention through the lens of mental health. We know that it's other factors such as financial distress that's impacting people's risk of suicide. And so what we're calling on the government to do is really take a whole of government approach. We've seen some measures being put in place, but some of those take a long time to have effect, such as some of the promises that have been made. But the upcoming budget is an opportunity for the government to really make systemic reform that helps protect our community from suicide.
Okay, well, Nieves, thanks so much for your time. We'll talk to you again soon. Hopefully things improve for people, hey?
Absolutely. And just one key message for people to reach out early for help. So help is there. The banks are alive to the fact that people are distressed. Reach out for help and reach out for help early.